Noah, some residents in Centralia are not happy with the resignation of the current police chief. Noah, more than 180 kids attended the clinic held at Mill Creek Elementary School today. I talked to the school nurse who says it was a big day that a lot of people have been waiting for. Good evening, Noah. An email was sent out to all US 3M employees on Tuesday saying that they were required to be vaccinated by December 8th. There have been 5 incidents of shots fired that happened in Colombia within the past 3 months. 2 residents spoke about it during the public forum tonight. When finished, the community center right behind me will include an expansion of the prayer hall for the Islamic Center and classrooms that will be used for Islamic school students.
A movement is growing in Colombia against the federal vaccine mandate. State lawmakers and others joined 3M employees at a protest today. KOMU-8's Wilson Truong is in the studio to tell us more about what it looked like. Wilson.
Evening, Noah. Today's protest was advertised as a day-long event for all Americans against the vaccine mandate. When I got there at around 8:30 this morning, as many as 50 people were already outside the 3M building holding signs with similar messages. For the second week in a row, the sidewalks outside the Columbia 3M plant was full of employees protesting the federal vaccine mandate. But this week, the protesters came from farther away. Jay Wolfenberger drove up from all the way from Florida to join the protest.
Wanted to stand here and support the 3M plant workers that are speaking out against this forced vaccines.
Tori Nico says he is vaccinated and his mother is at high risk for COVID, but he does not support the federal vaccine mandate.
It's more than just a vaccine mandate, man, because really everybody's fighting COVID in their own way. So we haven't overlooked that, but for you to tell me how to fight COVID, I think that's a little unfair.
Some Republican lawmakers also showed up to show they stand with the protesters.
This is not a political statement. This is about a choice of what you put into your body. And so I am glad to see everybody coming out to fight for their freedoms and their rights under the Constitution, and this is America.
This is a right to work issue. Our employees should have the right to work in Missouri whether they've had a vaccination or whether they have not had a vaccination.
The federal mandate requires companies like 3M that have federal contracts and more than 100 employees to be fully vaccinated by December 8th. Yesterday, the UM system said it is asking employees to be aware of the deadline and upload proof of vaccinations if they haven't already. Lawmakers who showed up today told me that they plan to work on a bill to push back the mandate. Reporting in studio, Wilson Truong, KOMU-8 News.
A local community is moving inches slowly closer to finishing a long-awaited project. This has been a project that has been going on for over 2 decades now here in Columbia. KOMU-8's Wilson Truong is in the studio to give us more details.
Islamic Center in Central Missouri have been working on a new community center for years now. While it is moving slowly closer to the finish line, there are still some obstacles in the way before it gets closer to finishing. At the Islamic Center of Central Missouri, some excitement is building. Outside the mosque, visitors can see the dream of their community center moving closer and closer to finishing.
It is a dream, and now, especially at this age where we look at the outer picture, outer look, similar to the old one, it is really it's beautiful.
The expansion of the Islamic Center started in July of 2019. Hamoudi says the growth of the Muslim community is a major reason for the need of the community center.
Our community has grown tremendously. When this old building was opened in 1983, we could not even fill the prayer hall. But now every Friday we have 3 services.
One parent says the new center will help with the growth at the Islamic school.
My son, for example, goes to school here in the Islamic school in Columbia, and they have very small building with very small classrooms. They have no space for activities, sports, and getting along, and they are all very excited to be taking classes in this building.
There are still some roadblocks in the way for the center to be completed. Due to the pandemic, construction supply prices have increased sharply, and the city is also requiring a storm shelter, altering the plans and driving up the building costs even more. Hamoudi says the total cost is now up around $2 million, up from $1.5 million. All the money will come from donations and fundraising.
If we touch the 2 million, it would be worth it. The building is beautiful. The building is going to be very convenient for our kids, very convenient for our community, and it is worth the 2 million and even more than the 2 million.
Hamidou says the community will need to mobilize to finish the project.
That was KOMU-8's Wilson Truong reporting. Now, there is no set date for when the community center will be opened, but there is some hope that it could be completed by the start of next school year.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU-8 News starts with breaking news.
Breaking news tonight out of central Colombia. 3 people are hurt after a truck slammed into a house. Good evening, everyone. I'm Noah Klein. Thanks so much for joining us. One of the people injured is in critical condition. This is video taken in the last hour of the truck in the home. You see it there. Let's take a look now live at what the scene looks like. You can see the car has since been removed. This is on Woodlawn and Worley, right off of Providence Road in Columbia. We'll tell you first what we know, which again here is that a truck drove into this home. In terms of injuries, a reporter saw the woman in the home get put into an ambulance. The woman's injuries are life-threatening. That's according to CFD. We know CPD is there, according to the fire department. Police will be conducting an investigation. Both the driver and another person in the home suffered non-life-threatening injuries. In the last hour, we spoke with the Columbia Fire Department about what happened.
But they had to lift the truck up and do some stabilization of the truck and get it lifted off of her so they could get her out to prevent further injuries.
This is another live look at the scene again. We're in Columbia. Now, we will continue to follow this developing story. We still don't know several details. We don't know who any of these people are, and we still don't know more about the investigation that CPD will have. We'll have all the latest details on our website over at KOMU.com.
More than 100 people gathered in Jefferson City today to support the release of 2 wrongly convicted men. A rally in support of Lamar Johnson and Kevin Strickland took place right outside Attorney General Eric Schmidt's office. A group called the National Organization of Exonerees organized that event. A new Missouri law that went into effect Saturday gives county prosecutors the right to ask the court to free convicts when evidence of innocence arises. One of the attendees feels the pain for both inmates.
Can I do it for you another way? Here you go. That's why I served 26 years, 10 months, and 7 days in prison for a crime I ain't commit. I know what it feels to have a miscarriage of justice, to be a victim of a miscarriage of justice. That's why I'm here.
Prosecutors in Jackson County filed a motion over the weekend to free Kevin Strickland. Supporters expect St. Louis County to do the same for Lamar Johnson. But late this afternoon, Attorney General Eric Schmidt's office said it will not comment on the plan for the motions. A 12-year-old boy is now the youngest person ever to receive a Missouri Public Safety Award. Today, the governor honored officers and civilians from all over the state. 12-year-old Jaden Groves from St. Louis was one of them. Groves was honored for saving the life of his little brother last year. His mother says she was happy to see her son honored for what he did.
Well, it was very emotional because it just brought back memories of why he's actually getting the reward. At the same time, I'm just very excited that he's still being honored for this, and I think he's just going to be honored a long time because the whole family, we just thank Jaden, because without him, Josiah wouldn't be here today.
2 Jefferson City police officers and a local man from Camden County were also honored at today's ceremony.